You have this passion and you've tossed around the idea of turning that passion into a business. But every time you do, your thoughts start racing with all the uncertainties and unknowns. You're not sure if it will work and you just can't quite seem to muster up the courage to take that first step and jump in. If that sounds like you, then this video is going to be the unlock that you need to move forward with confidence and turn your passion into a real business. We are going to talk about how to validate your business idea so you know if it's actually a good one that's going to make you money. We're going to talk about creating your very first offer so that you have something to sell. And we're going to talk about how to start building an audience so you actually have someone to sell to. These are the exact steps that I have taken to build 4 businesses over the last 14 years of being an entrepreneur. And these businesses have allowed me to be a stay-at-home mom since my oldest, who is now 14, was only 1 year old. So maybe you are a mom who wants to stay home with your kids, or maybe you're someone who wants more financial freedom and time freedom. Turning your passion into a business could be the exact thing that makes those dreams a reality. And by the end of this video, you're going to know the exact steps to take to launch that business and to get it off the ground quickly. The first thing that you need to do is to validate your business idea, because passion is an incredible starting point for a business, but it can't be the only thing that you base your business off of. If you build your business based only off of passion, then you're going to have a hobby, but not a profitable business. So I'm going to share the 3 main pillars that you need to have a sustainable, profitable business. And if you have all 3 of these, then you can move forward with confidence, knowing that this is a business that you can run for years to come that's going to bring in real money for you and your family. The first pillar is passion, because it is so important to truly care about what you're doing. This passion is what is going to carry you through those difficult times that do come as an entrepreneur. The passion is what's going to allow you to run this business for years to come and to really pour deeply into the people that you are serving. The second pillar is natural talents or natural giftings. So you want to make sure that in this business that you are starting, that you are actually using those natural talents that the Lord has placed specifically in your life. This could be past experiences. It could be talents that you have that are unique to you. It could be a unique perspective on things. You need to bring your uniqueness to this business, and that is what is going to attract people to you, even in saturated markets. The third pillar is market need. There does need to be a market need for you to actually have a profitable business. You need to make sure that you have a solution to a problem that people are actually willing to pay for. So if you have all 3 of these pillars, you have passion, you have natural giftings, and you have market need, you can move forward with confidence, knowing that you have a business that can make real money that you can run for years to come. The next step is to create an offer, a product or service to sell. So how do we create an offer? First, we're going to think about the exact audience that we want to serve. We need to pick one specific audience, because if we try speaking to everyone, we're really going to be speaking to no one. So think about the specific audience that you want to serve, and then think about one specific problem that that audience has that you can solve for them. And then you just need to think about the easiest way for you to solve that problem for that audience. Maybe it's through a course. Maybe it's through one-on-one coaching or a membership. You're going to think about how can you solve that problem in the easiest, quickest way for your audience, and now you have an offer. You don't need to go overboard with this. You can run a profitable business with just one offer that solves a very specific problem with clear messaging for one specific audience. Now that you have an offer, it's time to build an audience so that you actually have someone to sell to. My business coach always says, without an audience, nothing is possible. But with an audience, everything is possible. So how do we build an audience? There are really 3 ways. First, you can build organically. So you can hop on YouTube, a podcast, social media, and you can just start to put out trust-building content to grow an audience organically. The second way is to buy an audience. So this is through ads. If you're willing to spend a little bit of money, this can be a great way to grow your audience a little more quickly. The third way is to borrow an audience. So you can borrow through being on other people's podcasts or YouTube channels. This is an excellent way to grow your audience more quickly if you don't want to spend the money on ads. So again, you can build, you can buy, or you can borrow your audience. If you can do all three of those, that's how you're going to grow the quickest. But even if you can only do one or two, just start with what you can do and start to build that audience. So, if you have validated your business idea, created your first offer, and are starting to build an audience, congratulations, you have a business. I hope that you see that you really don't have to overcomplicate this. Start with these simple steps, everything else can come later. I know that you might still have some fears and objections swirling in your mind, but I want you to start to believe that this is possible for you. Keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it, and start with these few first steps. If you want to go all in on your idea to really jump in with both feet, but you want to make sure you're on the right track, I would love to invite you to apply for my VIP one-on-one coaching program, where I help women create personalized action plans so they know exactly what to work on every single week, so they do not waste months or even years spinning their wheels trying all these different strategies that don't really move the needle in their business. If that sounds like the exact thing that you need, I'm going to drop the link to the application for that program in the description of this video. And if this episode brought you clarity and encouragement, I would love for you to subscribe. I show up here every single week helping women turn their passion into a business. And when you subscribe, you know that you won't miss an episode. Until next time.